I'm ranking 12 of the most popular dividend ETFs, from S tier, the true elite, all the way down to F tier, the ones you should seriously question owning. And yes, some fan favorites won't rank well. This list isn't based on opinions or hype. I analyzed dividend yield, growth, expense ratios, tax efficiency, and long-term total return, real numbers only. So if you currently own dividend ETFs, or you're thinking about buying one, this matters. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which funds actually build income, and which ones only look good on the surface but quietly hold your portfolio back. Here's how this ranking works. I'm grading 12 dividend ETFs across 5 key categories: dividend yield for income today, dividend growth for income tomorrow, expense ratio because fees eat returns, tax efficiency so you keep more of what you earn, and total return because dividends plus price growth build real wealth. Each ETF lands in one of 6 tiers. S tier is elite. A tier is strong with minor flaws. B tier is solid. C tier is average. D tier has serious problems. F tier? Avoid completely. By the end, you'll see the full ranking and exactly why each fund earned its spot. Quick disclaimer. This is my opinion based on data analysis. It's educational content, not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Your investment goals and risk tolerance are unique to you. Always do your own research and consult with qualified financial professionals before making investment decisions. Some of you will disagree with these rankings, and that's fine. Leave your arguments in the comments. Starting at the top, S tier. These are the elite funds combining reliable income, strong growth, low fees, and long-term performance. S tier number 1. SCHD, Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. This is the gold standard for dividend growth investors. The yield sits around 3.6%, but the real story is the dividend growth, roughly 12% per year over the past decade. That's faster than most salary raises. The expense ratio is only 0.06%, and the portfolio focuses on profitable companies with long dividend histories and strong cash flow. Over time, SCHD has rivaled or beaten the broader market while paying higher income, and its qualified dividends are tax efficient. There's no major weakness here. SCHD clearly earns S tier. S tier number 2. VTI Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. Its yield is lower, about 1.4%, but S tier isn't just about yield, it's about total return. VTI owns the entire U.S. market, thousands of companies, at a tiny 0.03% fee. The dividends steadily grow, and long-term compounding has historically outperformed most strategies. Reinvested dividends turn modest income into massive growth. If you want simplicity, diversification, and reliable wealth building, VTI belongs in S tier. Now we move to A tier. Excellent ETFs, with 1 or 2 small drawbacks that keep them just below elite status. A tier number 1. VOO Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Think of VOO as VTI's little brother. Instead of the whole market, it tracks the 500 largest U.S. companies. The yield sits around 1.3%, and the fee is only 0.03%, identical to VTI. Long-term performance is also extremely similar, so why not S tier? Simple. Diversification. VTI holds thousands of companies, while VOO holds 500. The difference is small, but it exists. If you already own VOO, there's no reason to switch. But starting from scratch, I'd still pick VTI. VOO earns a strong A tier. A tier number 2. DGRO. iShares. Core Dividend Growth ETF. DGRO focuses on growing dividends like SCHD, but takes a broader approach with roughly 400 holdings instead of a concentrated portfolio. The yield is about 2.4%, and expenses are 0.08%. Dividend growth is solid, just not as powerful as SCHD's track record. Diversification helps stability, but SCHD's stronger growth gives it the edge. DGRO is a great fund, just not the top performer. A tier number 3. VYM, Vanguard. High Dividend Yield, ETF. VYM targets higher income today, yielding around 2.8% across roughly 500 stocks with a 0.06% fee. The trade-off is slower dividend growth and occasional value traps. Companies paying high yields but growing slowly. Total returns have lagged stronger dividend growers. Reliable income but less long-term momentum. VYM comfortably lands in A tier. Now we move into B tier. These funds work, but they come with clear trade-offs you need to understand. B tier number 1. JEPI. JP Morgan. Equity Premium Income, ETF. Its yield sits around 7 to 8%, which sounds incredible. The fund generates income by selling covered call options on its holdings. The catch? Those options cap your upside. When the market rallies strongly, JEPI lags because gains are traded away for income. Another issue is taxes. Much of the payout is taxed as ordinary income rather than qualified dividends. That makes it inefficient in a taxable account. For retirees who want steady cash flow, JEPI can make sense. For long-term wealth building, the limited growth keeps it out of higher tiers. B tier number 2. JEPQ, JP Morgan. Nasdaq Equity Premium Income, ETF. This is essentially the tech-focused version of JEPI. Yields can reach 9 to 10%, but the same trade-offs apply: capped upside and tax inefficiency. You're sacrificing future growth for income today. If you need maximum income right now, it works. If you're still building wealth, better choices exist. B tier number 3. SCHG, Schwab U. S Large Cap Growth, ETF. Not really a dividend fund, but often paired with dividend strategies. The yield is under 0.5%, basically negligible. However, total returns have been strong thanks to large growth companies. The downside is volatility. Big gains in bull markets, sharp drops in corrections. Useful as a growth complement, but weak for income alone. That's why all three land firmly in B tier. Now we're entering C and D tier. Funds with serious structural problems. C tier number 1. QYLD. Global X Nasdaq 100 Covered Call ETF. The headline yield looks amazing, often 10 to 12%. It generates income by selling covered calls on the entire Nasdaq 100. But that income comes at a cost. Upside is capped. Over long periods, the share price trends downward, meaning you collect cash while your principal slowly shrinks. That isn't real wealth building. It's gradual liquidation. The only reasonable use case is someone needing maximum immediate income with little concern for growth. For most investors, it lands in C tier. D tier number 1. SPHD. Invesco. S&P 500 High, Dividend Low Volatility ETF. It sounds safe, high yield and low volatility, but the holdings are often companies whose prices already struggled. Dividend growth is weak, returns lag the broader market, and the 0.30% fee is high for a passive fund. Compared to stronger dividend ETFs, it simply underperforms. D tier number 2. DIV Global X, Super Dividend US ETF. This fund chases the highest yields, which usually means weaker businesses. Dividends have been cut multiple times, price growth is minimal, and the 0.45% expense ratio is extremely high. The result? Poor total return and a classic yield trap. Avoid it. Finally, F tier. Only one fund lands here. RYLD, the Global X Russell 2000 Covered Call ETF. It looks similar to QYLD but with small cap stocks, making it even riskier. The yield sits around 10 to 11%, yet the strategy caps upside during the rare strong rallies small caps experience. Long-term total return is poor, dividends are inconsistent, and the share price trends downward. This isn't income, it's erosion of capital. There's essentially no situation where RYLD makes sense. Not for young investors, not for retirees, not for anyone. F tier. Don't buy it.